This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and I'm so excited, and I didn't think I was going to be. This is the Google Pixel 3a. In fact, it's the XL model, which is a larger model. It has a 6-inch screen size. The 3a, not XL, has a 5.6-inch screen size. So basically, there were leaks. You know what this is. This is the more affordable version of the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, which were very expensive flagship-y price phones, $799 and $899 starting prices respectively. And we all know phones have been getting just too expensive, right? It's crazy. So this, you thought, well, so what? It's just a pared down Pixel, right? And actually the whole package is really pretty compelling. I like it a lot. We're going to look at it now. So one of the drawbacks for Pixel phones, at least in the United States, is that it was either available direct from Google unlocked or from Verizon. So you didn't have, if you're on any other carrier, you couldn't go to the carrier store, pick it up, get their support. Some people really like to have that, understandably. So this time around, we have it on Verizon, we have it on Sprint, we have it on T-Mobile. It's not sold direct by AT&T, but it does work on AT&T just fine. Obviously, there's some business reasons why they decided not to offer it. Not a compatibility issue by any means. So the 3A, which is the 5.6-inch version, is $399 list price, and the 3A XL, the larger one, is $479. With introductory pricing, it's about $100 off if you go to Best Buy. Carriers have promotions and all that sort of thing. So potentially even cheaper. We don't know how long these promotions are going to go on, but that's good. Now the 3 and the 3XL original Pixel models often are discounted too, but not as cheap as these, generally speaking. So yeah. Both of these have OLED displays. These are glass OLED displays. The regular Pixel 3 and 3 XL have plastic under the OLED display for flexibility, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's a very good looking display. Not quite as bright though as the headlining 3 and 3 XL, but bright enough I think for most people. Now the resolution is about the same on the 3A as the 3, and the 3XL versus the 3A XL. Oddly, the 3A XL is actually a little bit lower resolution than the smaller model too, but you can see the specs on screen. Suffice to say that it's still very high resolution. It's a lovely looking display. They're available in 3 colors, clearly white, just black, and purple-ish. So when it comes to specs, you have a Snapdragon 670. That is a very strong upper mid-range CPU, probably about almost as fast as a Snapdragon 835 of old. So yeah, you can go with the Snapdragon 845 if you wanted to spend more on the flagship Pixels, but honestly, like I said, the phone processors are so strong these days, they're overkill for a lot of people. This phone can play PUBG in high settings fluently, which is a very demanding game. It does Adobe Lightroom wonderfully. It's perfectly fine, I think, for most people, even me, and I'm a power user. It doesn't slow down. I'm not seeing any stuttering or any of the problems that actually plagued the original Pixel 3 and 3 XL when they first shipped. It has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. There is no micro SD card slot, which is a ding against this phone, but that's Google. They just hate removable storage, so it's not here. It has both an eSIM and a nano SIM card slot. Again, if you get the unlocked one, it'll work with any carrier, CDMA, GSM, you're all good there. You've got Android 9.0 on board, and we're going to see Android Q before you know it, and you'll be one of the first kids on the block with Android Q because this is a Pixel phone. And like I said, guaranteed 3 years of updates according to Google. Hopefully the processor will hold up for 3 years and still feel fast. I think there's a good chance, actually, then that it will. It has a polycarbonate body rather than glass and metal, and I actually love that because it's more durable. If you drop it, it'll probably just bounce and not break, at least the casing material. The glass is Dragon Trail glass, which is a Gorilla Glass competitor. As to which is better, it's hard to say. Anyway, it looks just like the Pixel 3 and 3 XL flagship models, yet it's polycarbonate. Who could ask for more? Just like the 3 and 3 XL, the 3A and 3A XL have stereo speakers, slightly different placement for one of the speakers. Instead of having both of them being front-facing with this one of them fires out of the earpiece and the other one fires from the bottom edge. Shows its HTC heritage yet again because it still has the squeezy thing. You can squeeze the sides of the phone to launch Google Assistant. However, you can't reassign that to do anything else. For security, for biometrics, you have a rear fingerprint scanner that works pretty flawlessly. There is no facial recognition here, be it the secure kind or the insecure kind. So yes, you do have to use your finger on the back of the phone. Now with the Pixel 3 and 3 XL, you got unlimited storage for your photos and videos that you shot at full resolution. With the 3A and 3A XL, you get unlimited high-quality versions, but you only get your allotted amount of storage, whatever you already have for your Google Drive plan, for the full resolution versions of the photos. I don't think that's a huge talking point for a lot of people, but just in case you cared, so you know. So what aren't you getting versus the more expensive Pixel phones? It's not IP68 water resistant, it's not IP67 water resistant. So for those of you who need that peace of mind, you certainly do not want to drop these in the pool. Anything like that, you can't wash them off. There's no wireless charging either. Now, the big selling point here probably is for people who love taking pictures with their phones, which is probably a lot of people considering the fact that phones have largely replaced point-and-shoot cameras, and this has the same excellent camera that you would find on the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. It's a single-lens camera solution, but it's still arguably the best at taking photos on the market. And it has the portrait feature, 12.2 megapixels, a Sony sensor with an f1.8 lens, and that wonderful night sight mode where you can take pictures in near darkness and actually get a viable photo. In fact, you can see the difference. We have the same shot taken in a very, very dark room with the Pixel 3a, and with the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. We use the night sight mode with the Pixel, and there's a lot more detail there, including all the scratches on the finish on the top of that little dresser. You do get optical image stabilization, 4K video recording, panorama mode, and a pretty intuitive user interface as well. Now, the extra processor that Google had with the flagship version of the Pixel 3 and 3 XL is not here. So what that means is if you take several pictures, probably in a row, like a bunch of people do, and then later look at your photos, you won't notice this. But if you're the kind of person that takes a picture, goes and looks at it, takes a picture, goes and looks at it, you'll notice the processing time is a little bit longer on the 3A versus the regular 3 model. So you'll see it go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then the picture is ready versus almost instantaneously. Video gets less love from Google versus the photo quality, but honestly, it does shoot pretty good video. You can see the sample that we have, and no complaints there, but I wouldn't say that it's class leading. The iPhone, certainly 10s and the Samsung Galaxy S10 family, give it a run for the money when it comes to video recording. But you do get a new time-lapse mode, which is pretty cool, so you can have things speed up really fast if you want, you know. For the front camera, it's an 8 megapixel with an f2.0 lens. There's no dual wide-angle lens like you would get on the higher-end Pixel 3 XL. As always with phones, if the processor is not the top-of-the-line model, you're going to get better battery life. If the resolution is high, but not insanely high, better than any of us can see, really, honestly, in terms of pixel density, you're going to have better battery life. So these phones have pretty good capacity batteries. We have a 3,000 milliamp battery in the 3A and a 3,700 milliamp battery in the 3A XL. Not the biggest battery. Samsung still beats that with the 4,000 milliamp battery in their Galaxy S10 Plus, but that's a much more demanding phone. Battery life on this is really excellent. I've been seeing 5-6 hours of screen on time versus, say, 4-4.5 for your average flagship. That's impressive. That's actual screen on time you're using at time. That doesn't mean that you only have that much time in a day to use it. That translates for most people probably into a day and a half of usage. That's good stuff. And I've been pushing it pretty hard, taking a lot of photos and videos, playing PUBG, doing all the sorts of things you do when you first get a phone and you set it up and you use it very heavily in the first week of testing. It ships with an 18-watt fast charger, and it does indeed charge fast. So I saw it go up about 20% after just plugging the thing in for 10 minutes. Not bad. So phones don't live in a vacuum, do they? We have the Moto G7 and the Moto G7 Power. Now those play at an even lower price tier, $250 to $299. You do get a slower CPU there. You don't get as nice a screen. You don't get as good a camera. So there are reasons why the price is lower. But that's also worth considering if you want to spend even less money. It's still a fairly strong phone. When it comes to Samsung Galaxy S10, that's what the Pixel 3 and 3 XL at least are trying to go up against. But with Samsung, you get every feature but the kitchen sink. You know, you get 3 cameras on the rear, you get face recognition login, you get an in-display fingerprint scanner. There are reasons why that phone costs more money, and it certainly does. Even the Samsung Galaxy S10e, which is the least expensive model, is $750. Likewise with the iPhone XR. That one is $750, and that's the affordable model for the iPhone. So you get the idea there. Now, a really interesting one is the OnePlus 6T, the affordable flagship killer. I love OnePlus phones, and I think they are a lot of value and a lot of performance and a clean Android build for the money, but the prices have been creeping up. So now you're talking $550 starting price, which puts it in a different price tier, even higher than the the XL version of this phone. You will get a faster CPU though. You will get expandable storage. These are important things. You'll get an in-display fingerprint scanner. So again, it does cost more. You're getting more. You have to decide if those things are more important to you. The camera on the Pixel 3a and 3a XL will beat the pants off of the OnePlus 6T. Not that the OnePlus 6T has a bad camera. It has a decent camera. But again, Pixel is just class leading. So that's the Pixel 3a, specifically the XL model here. It's a very good-looking phone in so much as, if you consider the Pixel 3 and 3 XL good-looking phones, it's just about a dead ringer. So it punches above its weight for looks. It's got a durable polycarbonate back. It doesn't have curved glass, for those of you who are annoyed by curved glass. It's got a very good OLED display on it. It's got the best camera for still photos in the business. Video, it has competition there, but for photos, most definitely. You've got guaranteed Android updates for 3 years. You're guaranteed to have the latest version of Android first. There's so much to like here. As long as you can live without those creature comforts that you get when you spend more money on a phone. Things like wireless charging, for example, things like IP68 water resistance, and there's the lack of a micro SD card slot, which has nothing to do with the phone's price. That's just a Google thing. If that really bugs you, yeah. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool tech videos, and thumbs up if you like this vid.